emerged very rampantly. Industrial revolution has brought about a far reaching consequences in the structure of the society. For example, it led to establishment of industrial society. Before industrial revolution, the society of industry or is not like that. Now, let us try to understand the basic elements of industrial social structure. For example, the economy is industry based, means in industrial society divided in number of classes. For example, the capitalists, the workers and the petty shopkeepers, means it is created a division among the capitalists, among the workers and the shopkeepers and others. And the second important feature we can see from this industrial social structure is emergence of number of professional and technical jobs. Because of this industrial social structure, so many new employment schemes had come, so many new technological aspects have been emerged. So, emergence of number of professions have occurred. And the third important feature is a rapid means of transportation. There is a huge development has occurred with regard to transportation, and there was a wide network of communications, means in the area of communications and transportation there is a huge development has occurred. And another important thing is, because of this industrial social structure, so much of migration took place from rural areas to urban areas. Now, let us try to understand in detail, because of this development of industries, how the social structure have been changed, or how to understand that newly evolved social structure. One of the important aspect of this social structure in the industrial society is emergence of modern family, means diminishing of the joint families. For example, in joint families we have the people of 3 generations. For that matter, you will be having grandfathers, you will be having parents and you will be having the children, like that. But because of this industrial structure, industries, emergence of industries, you will be having only modern families. In that you will find only nuclear families, only husband and wife and their unmarried children. And so, because of this, it was now no longer performance of the functions it did in the pre-industrial society. So, in pre-industrial society the functions of the family was completely different, though the family is meant for the procreation, the family is meant for economic growth, but in the emergence of this modern family, only this family functions of child bearing and rearing differently performed in the industrial society. So, the family is restricted. The economic institutions, we need to discuss how the economic institutions have been emerged. The most important difference between the industrial society and the pre-industrial society can be seen in the structure of economic in the institutions. For example, the industrial society is marked as a new system of production, distribution and exchange. In the place of households, previously in the households also there was a huge work is being done, but because of this economic institutions, in the place of households we have got factories, and where the work is also divided into pieces. For example, a big factory, the work is given to small bits and pieces in a outsourcing way. So, we need to understand the large industrial businesses like such as Tata, Birla and other big companies like Reliance owned not by only one man. There are so many people involved, like as a stock holders among this diverse ownership is spread out to all other company, means only single ownership is not there, many people also involved into the ownership of the companies. And we can see one more important characteristic is occupational subculture. There is an extreme division of labor in industrial society, means there is a division among the employees. For example, as industrialism spread and popularly grows, division of labor become highly complex. The industrial society creates a newly specified or specialized jobs. More and more status are achieved rather than ascribed. Achieved status, for example, in sociology we read achieved status and ascribed status. Particularly in industries, people who are having talent, people are having knowledge, they can achieve the better jobs in the industrial society. Impersonality and relationship. In industrial society, the relationship among the employees or the relationship between the ownership and the workers, completely it is based on only some contracts, only on some guidelines, and it is purely mechanical for the production. But in other societies, this relationship is completely different. Now, let us try to understand more about this relationship. The second character of the association, the multiple of occupation, the specialization of functions and areas of competitiveness narrow attachment and detract of the individual from a feeling of identification with entire society. So, in generally in industrial society, the people are hired to attain a particular task or particular job. The relationship between the company and the worker only to get the results, not beyond that. And status to contract. In an industrial society, most people work for big organization and contracts are substituted for status system. There is a wage contract, there is a social security contract or unemployment insurance. Means in industries, the work relations is completely based on certain contracts. Means if you are working for some project, if you are working for the employment, that is given a certain period, that so there will be a social security, there is a insurance, all these things are available. And the social mobility, we need to understand in industrial social structure is marked by a social mobility. The member of the industrial society can be, his achievement rises from lower level status to higher level or a different level. So, social mobility can takes place the people from one place to another place in the industrial society. Another important is position of women. The women, more number of women are coming into the industries, they are also occupying different big jobs, they are also occupying the decision making jobs, and more opportunity is given by this industrial society to women. And we need to understand, because of this industrial society, and there is a increasing importance of science and education. The science and education has improved because many number of people try to acquire better education, better technology, so that they have got jobs and employment in the industry. Because of the industrial social structure, people got educated well and they are joining for that employment, and increasing the role of the state. The hereditary monarchies are replaced by democratic institutions. Means because of the industrial society, there is a lot of prominence or dominance of the democratic institutions, because the people, the industrial workers can participate democratically, and the government also make necessary laws for the benefit of the industries. So, there is a role of increasing of the state. In this connection, we need to understand the industrial social structure. In this connection, we need to understand the industrial social structure is a very important to understand and to learn, and also various social structures. In this connection, we need to understand the industrial social structure and also various social institutions in the industrial social structure. Thank you.